get some work done in here in the studio on Friday. You guys are getting this on Saturday. One of the more common messages that I get on the YouTube channel, especially when Alan Johnson's name comes up, is can you find out his plans? And I've been chatting with him over the last few weeks leading up to this one here today that we did Friday at dinner time. He is ready to announce those plans, and actually he was working on one of the cars that he'll be racing this year earlier today. Alan Johnson, of course, second place last year at Canandaigua, 10th at Utica Rome, ran Outlaw Speedway a few times. His 48-year streak of winning one race every year was ended last year, so it sounds like a great time to start another one. Let's head out to Middlesex. Alan Johnson joining us. Alan, what's up?
Not too much, Doug. Just got home from work. Another day working on the car. Just had dinner.
Okay. So what car are we working on? Who owns it, and where might we see it?
Today was Mark's car. We was working on a Canandaigua car. Just about got it finished up today. Had a really good day, and we got our small black car. We're not sure what we're going to do with that. The Dale shows probably.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just about finished up. And then we're going to start on a new big block for Canandaigua. I don't think we'll make the opener with it, but hoping to have it done, maybe a week or two after.
Do you have enough stuff where you could have 3 complete cars together?
Everything, but we don't have a third motor.
Okay.
But we have one in the works. We're hoping to get it together. So.
Okay. And this is the same car you finished today that we ran second with last year at Canandaigua?
No.
No.
That's the Chase's new sportsman car.
Oh, I didn't know about this. Who's Chase?
His son.
Oh, his son's going to run this year.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
He's going to run in the rookie class there at the end of the night.
At Canandaigua?
Yeah.
All right, so they'll be pitted next to you, I would imagine, or somewhere close by. And So what's the car you were working on today, then? Is this a backup car from before, or is this a totally different one?
It's actually the car I turned over to Oswego. Mark doesn't like it. Well, I figured I better get it together because I don't think we're going to have time to get the new one done. So I ended up working on it all winter and getting it together, and that's why we're going to end up with 3 cars.
Okay. By the way, if the one about the photo, that's from 2008. And Alan's like me in one aspect. I remember I asked you, what were you doing in 2008? You really don't have any milestones or particular years that you can sit there and say, yeah, I drove this car, I ran these tracks. You don't remember? Your brain doesn't work that way?
Not when you pick a random year like that. I can think of years when I ran cars. 2000 was the Pillsbury car, and the 80s. I can remember them better with the show cars and the Troyers.
Okay. And, of course, you drove, we had to find some pictures from that year. Jake Spraker was one of the car owners that he drove from back in 2008. Is there another deal that's happening? Because you told me Friday night plans have changed this year.
Well, yeah. Going to run Tyler Series' car at Outlaw there Friday nights. We've been yesterday helped work on that, but we're kind of waiting on parts right now to get it done, and there's a long way to go to get it done, but hopefully we'll have it done for the opener.
Okay. What percentage done, if we had to say? 30%, 50%?
Oh, gosh, I'd say 30.
30. Okay, so this is going to be a busy week coming up then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to get the motor yesterday or late yesterday or today. I don't know if they did. And we were lacking a lot of parts for the car. So, I mean, it'll go together. I mean, then you get the motor and you gotta make all the oil lines and everything else. I mean, it's I'd be surprised if it's done for the opener, but that's what we're shooting for.
I guess I thought those oil lines from the sump tank, because again, it's a dry sump system, so there's an actual oil tank behind the driver. I guess I thought those things were fairly standardized, and you could pick those up, made ready to go.
Well, not as far as I know. I know we make all our own stuff, and I know I was talking to Mark there, one of the guys that work on Tyler's car, and he said, yeah, once they get the motor stuff, they still got to make all that stuff. So.
And there's hose companies out there that'll at least get the length right for you, or do you have to do that too?
No, we do all that. We just get the fittings and the line, and then just make them up.
Okay. Again, that's the biggest difference between the small block and the big block. The small block has the oil in the pan, and of course, they don't have that extra oil. Somebody called it an engine saver years ago. Is that kind of true with all that extra oil? If, like, let's say you had a valve cover gasket leak or something like that?
As far as running a dry sump, you think?
Yeah, having all that extra oil in that tank circulating around.
Well, I don't think you run a lot more oil. I think the wet sumps were holding about as much oil as the dry sumps do.
Really? The big pans are that big that it's about the same as what you have in the tank?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just learned something, guys. Hopefully you did too. You said you do have that open small block. Are there some particular events that you're thinking that would be good to have that? Some special races you might want to run with that car?
Nothing we have scheduled. We're just kind of we haven't even got that far yet. I think Utica,
Mm-hmm.
and I know Batavia's. I think Batavia's got a show or two, and we don't have any.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We don't have any really big plans for anything, really.
Okay, if it was up to you, you'd travel as much as you possibly could, right? In a perfect world.
Oh yeah, sure. If we had a full crew and everything, but
Yeah, you'd run 4 nights a week.
yeah, but it takes an awful lot to do that, and
It does.
we're kind of doing everything we can just to run 2 nights a week.
Mm-hmm. I ran into a bunch of photos from a friend of yours. I had some of them up the last couple of days. How long ago was it that Kevin Bates was working with you? And he was like a teenager then, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I had all the guys. I had all the teenagers. I think. I tried to remember how long ago it was. It was quite a while.
Yeah, maybe early 2000s, late 90s, maybe even.
It was before Pillsbury, so yeah.
All right, so late 90s, somewhere in that range. So, okay. Yeah, and I imagine you learned a lot with you that season. You and I were joking about this before. The streak ended last year, 48 years in a row of winning at least a feature. We started another one. How much longer do you think we might go? I mean, are you giving thought to retirement? Has anyone suggested that? Have you ever thought about it?
No, not really. I'm kind of happy what we're doing now is kind of slowing down and doing 1 or 2 a week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's no way I could do anything more
No?
than that. Well, I drive if I just had to show up with my helmet bag, yeah.
Okay.
But as far as putting in a full week and trying to travel and do all that, there's no way I could do that anymore.
Yeah, so the days of right around 100 shows like we all used to do back in the 90s, that they're going to have to stay in the 90s basically, huh?
Yeah, we used to do it had to be over 125.
That many. Okay.
I was, and yeah.
Adds up fast. The 90s, there was a lot. There were specials all over the place. It was rare that you had a night that weren't at least a couple of specials competing against each other. Only got about another minute left, Alan. What do you think would be something that would happen that would cause you to say, maybe I need to slow down? I mean, would it be an injury? Would it be just not enjoying it? Because I've seen you at the track. You seem like you still love this stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's more. I hate not doing it than I love doing it. Actually, when you're at a track, I don't see how you can retire because you just miss it so much. I'm at a track. I like even watching Hagerstown there a week or two ago, whenever it was. Just wanted to be there.
Mm. So on Saturday night, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself, would you?
No.
Probably watching Flow or something and going, man, I shouldn't have retired. So it's just that simple. So, Alan, I appreciate your time as always, man. Thank you. We've been going back and forth on this for a couple of weeks, waiting for a couple of things to solidify. They have now. So Canandaigua's opener's coming up soon. Outlaw has a practice scheduled for next week. So, Alan, thanks as always. You're always gracious and giving me time, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No. Next week's their race.
It's actual race.
Yeah, practices. They got to practice that tomorrow.
That's right. I was off by a week. So you guys are getting this on Saturday, so don't forget that they are having that practice today. So if you're sitting there and want to smell some race fuel, get on out there and have some fun. Alan, take care, man. Thanks again for everything.
Anytime, Doug. Talk to you later.
Remember, the guys, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and really subscribe. We've been picking up a lot. We want to get to 4,000 by the end of the year. We can do that one interview at a time. Thanks, guys, for tuning us in.